Rumor is that the doctor brought the head back to at least bury part of him where he was from in Florida. So the rumor is that he had his head and he used to temporarily had it and would put it on the bedpost to scare his kids and things like that.
Like this ghost at the end of her stairs every night, and she creeps me out.
She was growling at the entrance of the door, and I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, what's going on here? And I'm like, maybe it's something attached to, I bought bag and shoes, and I was like, something attached to one of these things I bought.
When I was a freshman in college, I woke up in my dorm room and I saw a figure coming up and touching my face.
Yeah, so we're talking on Liberty Bridge in Greenville, South Carolina, which was built in 2004. It opened. They saw an entity today. There's been a couple people who have committed suicide off the bridge, and it's possible that that is the spirit of these people. Do you believe that that's the case? Gabe Mathews here. I'm in downtown Greenville, South Carolina, and I'm just on the street here at Falls Park, where actually people have committed suicide by jumping off this bridge. But I'm here to talk to people about their ghost stories, and maybe they have some. So you have a paranormal story?
Yeah. Well, it's not mine, it's my friend. She thinks that her house is haunted, low-key, because she says that she sees this ghost at the end of her stairs every night, and she creeps me out when she does this. One time she told me there was a ghost in my car, so I think that she either sees ghosts or I don't know, maybe she's crazy. But
Very interesting. Does she describe what the ghosts look like?
yeah, she says that they have I don't know, just kind of white faces kind of, and dark hair, girls.
Are they corporal or ethereal? Can you see through them, or are they more physical like a human?
I think they're more physical.
Are they humanoid, full bodies, or are they torsos, or partial bodies, do you know?
I think they're full bodies.
Full body spirits, and she sees them multiple places, and she sees them in your car.
Yeah, she told me that there's one in my car after we got out, and I was freaking out. I was like, what are you even talking about? And she says there's one in her car too.
Do you think they're evil, or do you think they're benevolent?
I think they're evil, because they creep her out, so.
And have you done a smudging ritual or try to eliminate them?
No.
Would you be interested in a paranormal investigation team to come to your car to eliminate the spirits?
I mean, I don't think I need to.
Well, just in case, here is my card.
Okay.
Check us out. Give me a call if you ever need any elimination of any paranormal entities.
Okay.
His uncle has a house in St. Augustine, Florida. David.
My uncle owns a house on a street called Whedon Street in St. Augustine, the oldest city in America. And on that, Whedon was the doctor for Osceola, who was a famous Seminole Indian. And he believes that the ghost of Whedon, the doctor, occupies his house in St. Augustine, Florida. There's been all kinds of weird incidents. My uncle rents that house out now, he has tenants in it. And he's had to go there and do the salt and all that kind of stuff because he's convinced that Osceola, doctor, is haunting the house.
Because he had his head.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
When Osceola was killed, he was not buried in Florida where he wanted to be buried. So the rumor is that the doctor brought the head back to at least bury part of him in where he was from in Florida. So the rumor is that he had his head, and he used to temporarily had it and would put it on the bedpost to scare his kids and things like that.
And what paranormal events have taken place at this location?
So moving of chairs, touching of people while they're asleep in a romantic way.
Is it possible that I could come sleep there?
You could definitely come visit sometime, yeah.
Yeah.
In St. Augustine, Florida.
Did I give you my card?
Yeah,
Sure.
please.
Okay.
Yeah. We have an Airbnb in St. Augustine, and we had guests complain that it was haunted.
Wow.
They would say they heard ghosts
It's actually
in the middle of the
three
night.
houses away from the house we're
Yeah.
talking about.
And what was the guest saying?
That they heard ghosts moaning noises.
People were constantly saying things about the noises coming from the house and stuff like that.
Was the moaning in pain or pleasure?
I actually never heard it. They just would tell us in reviews.
Yeah, we
'cause it
weren't
was an
staying there.
Airbnb.
They would message us afterwards, is somebody else in the house or something? And we're like, no.
But it wasn't.
Yeah.
But perhaps pleasurable moaning.
Could be.
Possibly, yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking for a place, and I'm interested in investigating and checking out the bedroom for sure. Hey, Araya. Do you see any ghostly entities ever? And do you think that she's able to like sense paranormal entities?
Sense what?
Like a paranormal entity, perhaps, like a spirit
No.
or a ghost? No.
No, I don't think she's into ghosts.
Or like if an extraterrestrial being was around, do you think it would bark or notice that it was around? Do you think your dog is able to sense paranormal entities?
No, he's really dumb.
But yeah, like if an extraterrestrial being or a extra dimensional being was in the room, the dog would be able to sense it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think if humans can sense it, dogs 1000% can.
And what do you think the dog would do when like the entity was in the room?
I don't know, maybe get a little freaked out or like maybe start wagging his tail.
You think it'd be excited a little bit? You think the dog would go with the being?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And is that would be a good thing?
It would kind of freak me out.
Have you had any experiences where your dog was like barking at something that wasn't there?
Yes.
Can you describe it a little bit?
Well, one time my dog was barking at a dream catcher, and that freaked me out a little bit. But I mean, nothing like crazy.
Have you had any paranormal events taking place in your life?
Yeah, I have.
Would you mind talking about it a little bit?
When I was a freshman in college, I woke up in my dorm room and I saw a figure like coming up and touching my face, which is what I used to do to my grandpa when he was alive.
Can you describe the figure that touched your face?
It was a dark figure, but
A humanoid?
yeah, I would say so, but I felt very comfortable, so
Black figure, or maybe more of an apparition?
maybe a black figure, maybe that's
Full-bodied, or would it be a torso?
I would say torso, just because it was like up on like an actual high bed, so maybe I just didn't see it.
So a full torso, black shadow figure.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And it was pretty terrifying.
Maybe when I woke up, just because I thought someone was in my room.
Did you have any animals in the room with you?
No.
Maybe get a dog, right?
Maybe.
So they can protect you.
Yes, I do have ghost stories.
And what is that? What happened?
So I like to shop at, consignment stores, thrift shops, things like that. I was in need of a computer bag for work, and I went to Goodwill, and I picked up what looks like to be a brand new leather, really awesome travel computer bag. I brought it home, and I have a Great Pyrenees, who is a livestock guardian dog. They're huge, white, fluffy dogs. They're known for protecting livestock. And she's very quiet. She doesn't ever bark. And that night I brought that bag home. It was in my bedroom, like next to my bed, still in the bag. And my dog starts going crazy, barking, growling. She would not enter my bedroom. She was growling at the entrance of the door, and I'm like starting to freak out. I'm like, what's going on here? And I'm like, maybe it's something attached to, I bought bag and shoes, and I was like, something attached to one of these things I bought.
So basically what you're telling me is the bag is probably a spirit object, perhaps infiltrated by a dark passenger, and actually animals are known to detect entities more so than humans, and your dog, which the breed was what?
A Great Pyrenees.
A Great Pyrenees was able to detect this spirit object, and it was a smoking gun.
Yeah, so I lured her into the bedroom, and I pulled out from the bag. She was barking right at that spot the bag was, which is like right on the right side of my bed, and there was a window there. And I go to grab the bag, and I take out the shoes, and I bring them to her, and she sniffs them. Nope, fine. I pull out the bag, the computer bag, and she's like, rah, and she's like barking, and like I'm like, it's definitely this bag. And so I'm like, maybe I need to open the window. So I open the window, and then I like catch a shadow in the reflection of the window and get these chills.
Can you describe the shadow?
It was just like a hazy blur is what it was. And I got like chills all over.
You could see through the blur?
Yes.
Dark, white, black, clear?
Grayish, I don't know. I can't remember.
A grayish mist?
Yes, maybe.
That you could see through?
Yes. And it was that, and the same time like chills through my body.
Could you make out an entity, a humanoid, or
No,
other?
But it felt nefarious. So it didn't feel good, and I was like, I got to do something about this bag and get this out of my house. So I took it and I put it out on my back porch. And
do you still have this bag? I'd like to purchase it.
Hell no. I put it in my dumpster. I got rid of it. But it was outside on my porch. And And then I like lured my dog back. Actually, my sister-in-law is pretty spiritual, so I called her and she's like, put the phone in the bedroom and like we'll do some cleansing of the
Like
area.
a smudging ritual.
Yeah. And so I did that, and then she's like, see if the dog will go in the room now. And I did. I lured her back in there, and she seemed totally fine, would go to the spot, and I was like, okay, it's gone. And so we go back downstairs, we're just chilling, and we're in my living room, and in my living room there's a door to my back porch where I had put the bag. And she goes to the door, and she's like growling and barking at the door, and I'm like, holy shit, it's out there now. And that like freaked me out. And so anyways, I ended up,
Now, does the Pyrenees bark at any other of your bags?
no, she doesn't bark at like all. And, it's funny,
And how much did the bag cost?
it was like a couple dollars, $4 or $5. So it was definitely not worth keeping.
Yeah. So where can I go buy a bag for a couple dollars that has a spirit vessel?
I don't know. I just happened upon it. I guess a thrift shop or an antique shop or a Goodwill. But I ended up taking the bag, putting it into a trash bag, and she walked next to me the entire way out to my dumpster, and we put it in there. And then after that, she was totally fine. But the crazy part is my sister called me the very next morning. So this happened like late at night, 11:30. And I get a call from my sister at like 7:30 in the morning. She's calling me. She's like, Noelle, wake up, like, or answer the phone. And I finally like answer on their third call. And she's like, I had this dream about you. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? What was the dream? And she's like, it was in your bedroom. On the right side of your bed, there was a portal that opened up, and this hand was reaching out, trying to grab you. And I was like, holy shit, that's like where the bag was. So it's giving me chills now talking about it. But yeah, so I'm glad to got rid of that thing.
All right. Well, here's my card. If you have any other portals that open up to any extra dimensional gateways, I'd be happy to come investigate.
Okay.
And or don't throw it away next time. I can ship you a Faraday cage, and you can seal it up and then ship it to me, and I'll even Venmo you some cash.
Okay.
So you have a ghost story that you didn't tell me. What is that story?
Last night I was in my cabin and I was awake and there was a shadow from like the back, like from his torso up, and it was a guy with like black hair, super defined cheekbones, and like a beard, like a super scruffy beard. He walked halfway in our room. I sat up and I was like, what the hell? Someone's in our room. And I knew it wasn't my sister, and I laid back down and I stared up at the ceiling. I saw a couple more shadows like in and out of the night. But
So why'd you think it was your sister? Was it the cheekbones that
I thought I was convinced I was dreaming at that point. I was like, there's no way I'm seeing somebody. But then I didn't hear any like rustling in my sister's bedroom, so I knew that she hadn't like woken up or anything. And she didn't wake up. I was super pissed off. She didn't wake up. I was trying to like grab her, but no one. And then I stared at it for a while, and nothing. It just disappeared. And then I saw a couple more like shadows in and out of the room, and I just thought maybe I was just losing my mind at that point.
I've dedicated my whole life to investigating the paranormal. Do you guys have had any paranormal experiences in your life? No? Not a single one of you. Are you in tune to that? Like, do you guys, like, maybe you're closed off to the idea of it? You think that's possible, that you just like don't? Would you guys want to make up a story for some content on YouTube? But no ghost story. I saw you guys were like really excited about telling me one. I know. No?
Sometimes when people seem
Here
like
we go.
great people, like perfect, I think they're angels. And like I believe it's possible that like some people in this world could be angels, if that counts as a story.
Is it possible I'm an angel here?
I mean, no.
We're here at Grand Bohemian. Ran into a couple gentlemen who have a great ghost story to share with us. Who wants to start? Is that?
Yeah, well, basically we were walking the waterfall and we saw like wet like footprints on the rock, and we were like, oh, what is that? And like we kind of looked around, and as we were like looking, then we saw like water like splashing through, and it was kind of like just like a foggy figure like cutting through the water. I don't know. It was kind of crazy, man.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking on Liberty Bridge in Greenville, South Carolina, which was built in 2004. It opened. They saw an entity today. There's been a couple people who have committed suicide off the bridge, and it's possible that that is the spirit of these people. Do you believe that that's the case?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, when we saw the footprints, we figured it was just someone walking past before, but then we saw the ripples in the water, and it was like, dang, it might actually be something.
So you saw footprints and ripples in the water. Yeah. Could you maybe elaborate on that a little bit?
When I say ripples, it was more like, you know, when you like see like a crocodile, like some of the water, you see like a little bit of like movement. That's what it felt like. It was like the wisp's like tail was like kind of sliding across it.
And what was the smoking gun that you knew that this was a paranormal event?
I mean, you don't see a foggy figure every day wisping across the...
Yeah, I get that. Probably the biggest
Can you describe the foggy figure a little more?
You could kind of make out like shoulders and head, and then the rest was just kind of like a fog to like...
So it was just a torso?
That's what it kind of looked like. I mean, you could somewhat... It's torso and then kind of fog.
Could you see... You could see through it, though?
Pretty much.
So
it was kind of transparent, but it was just misty in that one area.
As it went further and further away from us, it just kind of got dimmer and dimmer.
You think it was trying to make communication or give you a message?
I don't think a message, but it might have been trying to lead us a certain way. But right after we saw the footprints, we were like, all right, let's go the other way. We don't.
And which way was it leading you?
Across to the other side of the waterfall. I don't know what was over there, but
maybe it was leading you here to a paranormal investigator who can go and investigate this exact story in Liberty Bridge in Greenville, South Carolina.